DeCarlo.
I'm Lily Goodman.
And we are doing our lesson plans over a unit called Rain, Ice, Steam, which uses reading to support student inquiry about the water cycle.
Our lessons contain several arts-based strategies, but are ultimately used to prepare students to use their new information that they learn and record in their journals, and create a play for their peers to reiterate and demonstrate their new understanding of the water cycle.
I'm presenting session 1, which is the introduction, and it is used to access their prior knowledge and just kind of introduce this new topic to them.
I am going to present session 2, which introduces the water cycle more in depth, and then sessions 3 and 4 focus more in depth on evaporation, precipitation, and session 5 is an application and review.
And in session 6, which will happen over a course of a few days, they will be making a play to present their new knowledge to their class. Good. All right, class. Who remembers the field trip that we took last week to see the missing files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler? Who remembers that? The play that we went to? Did y'all really enjoy that? Yes. That was fun, wasn't it? We learned a lot. Yes. Well, what if I told you that you get to create your own play next week? Your very own play.
Oh my gosh.
Next week you get to create your own. Yes! So that is going to be exciting, but first we have to learn a lot of new information. We're going to be learning about the water cycle, but today we're going to focus on rain. Yes.
What's the water cycle?
The water cycle, we will be learning about it today and tomorrow, so you'll find out. All right. So, who has ever felt rain? Raise your hand if you've ever felt rain. What did it feel like? Raise your hand. And I'll pick on someone. Marshall.
Wet.
Wet? Yeah. How did it feel when it dripped on your head? Jared.
When Marshall spits on me.
Oh. Marshall. We all spit.
Never spit on you.
We all spit on anybody. Yes.
It was cold.
It was cold. Why do you think the rain was cold?
Came from Antarctica.
Came from Antarctica. Do you think maybe that it was cold outside and the weather made it cold? No. I think if it's cold outside, it kind of makes the rain cold.
Okay.
And what if it's hot outside? What do you think it would make the rain do? Yes.
It would be hot.
It would be hot, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. What about, who's ever felt an icicle? Have you seen an icicle? Emily? You've seen an icicle? How did it feel?
It was really cold.
Oh, it's cold. Yes, you're right. Well, we are going to be talking a lot about rain and what it does and how water works in our environment so that we can learn all about the water cycle. But I want you to close your eyes first. Everybody close your eyes. And let's listen really close and see what you hear in our room around us. All right, open your eyes. What did you hear?
Nothing.
Yes, Marshall.
The air conditioner.
The air conditioner, yes. You heard nothing? Well, what do you think you would hear if you were outside? Yes, Lana.
Birds chirping.
Birds chirping, maybe some wind, right? Well, do you think different environments, depending, like our environment right now is inside, and if we go outside, that's our environment. Do you think different environments cause different sounds? I think so too. We're going to listen to some sounds right now, and I want you to see if you know what they are. Oh, what do you think that was?
A rainstorm.
A rainstorm?
Waterfall.
A waterfall? Those are good options. Yes. Well, let's listen to another one. What do you think? What do you think that is?
Ocean.
The ocean? We're going to listen to one more. What do you think is making that noise?
A faucet.
A faucet. Good job. All right, so now that we've heard talked about rain and how it feels, and we know how it sounds, we are going to read a poem called Listen to the Rain by Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault, and we're going to see if we can hear some of those sounds. All right, listen to the rain, the whisper of the rain, the slow, soft sprinkle, the drip, drop, tinkle, the first wet whisper of the rain. Oh, the whisper of the rain. Who knows what whisper means? I'm going to get you to come up here and show us how we whisper. Julie, can you come up here and show us how you whisper? Whisper. Oh, it's really soft and whisper. All right, listen to the rain, the singing of the rain, the tiptoe pitter-patter, the splish and splash and splatter, the steady sound of the rain. The tiptoe pitter-patter. Who knows how to tiptoe? Raise your hand if you know how to tiptoe. Do you think you know how to tiptoe? Marshall, do you think you know how to tiptoe? Can you show us? Show us how you tiptoe. Stand up. Oh, is that how you tiptoe? Tiptoe. Wait, can you show us one more time? Okay, who else thinks they could show us how to tiptoe? Sydney, can you show us how to tiptoe? Tiptoe. In front, show the class how you tiptoe. Tiptoe. Very good. Good job. Listen to the rain, the roaring, pouring rain, the hurly-burly, topsy-turvy, lashing, dashing teeth of rain, the lightning flashing, thunder crashing, sounding, pouring, roaring rain, leaving all outdoors a muddle, a mishy, mushy, muddle puddle. Ooh, mishy, mushy. How would you walk through something that was mishy and mushy?
No.
How would you walk through something that was mishy and mushy?
I would go around it.
You would go around it, but we have to go through it. So I want you, who thinks they can show me how you would walk through something mishy and mushy? Lana, come show us. Oh, it's mishy and mushy. Oh, it's squishing between our toes. Oh, good job. Thank you. Good job. Listen to the quietude, the silence and the solitude of after rain, the dripping, dripping, dropping, the slowly, slowly stopping, the fresh, wet, silent after time of rain. So how do you think that would sound? The slowly, slowly stopping of the rain. How would that sound? Or maybe could you show us? Slowly and be a raindrop. Emily, can you come be a raindrop and be slowly, slowly stopping? Come show us. Slowly, slowly stopping, raindrop. Slowly. She's so slow. And she's whispering.
Good job. Thank you.
All right. Now we are going to draw a picture. Well, we're going to read, go over this part of the listen to the rain of our story one more time, and I want you to think of the words I'm using and picture something in your head of what I'm reading. Okay, listen to the rain, the roaring, pouring rain, the hurly-burly, topsy-turvy, lashing, gnashing teeth of rain, the lightning flashing, thunder crashing, sounding, pouring, roaring rain, leaving all outdoors a muddle, a mishy mushy muddle puddle. What do you think is going on in that? What's the rain doing?
Scary.
It's scaring people?
Flooding.
And it's flooding. It's raining a lot. We have lightning flashing and thunder crashing, right? And it's leaving mishy mushy puddles all over the place. So I want you to draw a picture of what you see in your head. Okay? And what you see in your head, and I am going to pass out markers to you to share.
We're gonna have to share our markers, right, Ms. DeCarlo?
We are sharing markers, so I want to see how good y'all can share. Class. Yes. Now that you have finished drawing your pictures, we have a few more minutes left of class, and we are going to share what we drew. And I want you to tell me what you picked out of the picture to draw in your picture. So Julie, can you tell me about your picture, or tell the class about your picture?
Well, I drew, it sounded very mean. That sounded mean. Yeah, it just sounded mean. And so I drew a lot of lightning because we see, I see lightning in a storm sometimes.
Yes.
So I drew lightning
and
then,
lightning flashing.
and the lightning
back
yeah.
to our text.
And then I drew clouds, mean clouds that were crying. They rain.
Oh, they're crying the rain
Because it's
crying. Good job, Julie. I like that. And Sydney, can you share with the class what you drew?
I drew clouds and lightning too, and I drew the mushy puddles. And
Oh.
there's a cat getting its feet all muddy in it.
Oh, through the mishy mushy puddles, isn't he? Oh, good job. Emily, can you share with us what you drew?
I drew the lightning
Mm-hmm.
and
The lightning
puddle
flashing
in the grass.
in the puddle. Good job.
I do a boy, he's drowning in the mud puddle, and he's crying because it's lightning.
Because it's lightning. Is he crying or?
He's crying because it's raining and it's
And
lightning.
because it's raining and there's lightning. Yes, and Jared, can you share with the class what you drew?
I drew a picture because we were supposed to.
A picture, yes, thank
He's
you.
wearing a scarf because it's raining and windy,
And
but his scarf's not working.
it's not working to protect him. What do we need to protect us in the rain?
Oh, the scarf.
Not a scarf, probably a raincoat, right?
Yeah, or an umbrella.
Yes. What is this that you drew?
This is lightning.
The lightning. What did you draw? Why did you draw the lightning? What in our text made you think of lightning?
Lightning flashing. Where's
Lightning.
it flashing? That's why it's yellow. That's why it's yellow.
Flashing.
It's
Yes,
flashing.
good job. Okay, Marshall, can you share with us what you drew?
I drew a man in a thunderstorm.
Oh, I see that. What's red coming out of his head?
Blood.
Why is he bleeding?
Because he got hit by lightning.
Oh, from the lightning flashing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, class, I want you to put your papers away in your desk. Y'all did so good. Put them away in your desk, and let's line up.
Okay, class.
Yes.
All right, so today we're going to continue talking about rain and the water cycle, okay? So can somebody tell me maybe something that we talked about yesterday? What's something that we learned?
The rain.
The rain, yeah. What did we do? Puddles, in our poem. And we drew some pictures. Lightning. So there's lots of things that have to do with rain. And today we're going to learn about where that comes from, okay? All right, so I have a really pretty picture here. Let's talk about some things that we see. What do we see?
Sunshine.
We have the sun. What else?
I see clouds.
Clouds, yes.
The ocean.
The ocean.
I see the ground.
The ground, good. Good. What else do we
and
see?
then
What about the mountain?
rain.
And we have a mountain. Yeah. What do you see, Ellen? What'd you say?
Rain.
Rain. Rain. So in a little bit we're going to talk about rain has a really fancy word. We like our fancy words, don't we? Mm-hmm. Fancy words, okay? So in a little bit, we're going to talk about that fancy word. All right, so, but before we talk about this, I have a song to sing. You guys like to sing songs? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to sing it first, and it's going to help us learn about the water cycle, okay? It's called the water cycle song. So I'm going to sing it first slow, and then I want you guys to sing it with me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll point to the words as I sing it. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up in evaporation, forms clouds and condensation. It rains down in precipitation, yes it does. Yes it does! That sound fun? Okay, let's sing it together. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Water travels in a cycle, yes it does.
Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up in evaporation, it forms clouds and condensation, it rains down in precipitation, yes it does. Yes it does. Yes, Ellen.
That was really fast.
It was fast. I think we should slow it down. Do you think so too, Julie?
What are those big words?
Those big words. We're going to talk about those big words. Do you want to sing the song slow again
Can you
one more
say those
time?
words?
Yes, this is evaporation.
Evaporation.
Can you guys say that?
Evaporation.
Good. Condensation.
Condensation.
And precipitation.
Precipitation.
Those are big words, aren't they?
Yeah.
We'll sing the song one more time and then we'll
Really
learn about what they
slow.
mean. Okay,
Really
really
slow.
slow. You ready? Okay.
Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up in evaporation, it forms clouds in condensation, it rains down in precipitation, yes it does. Yes it does.
Good job. You guys will get the hang of it. In a little bit, I have some motions to teach with it. Would that be fun?
Yes.
I think you guys can handle it. Okay, so let's talk about our first word, evaporation. What do you guys think that means? Do you have any ideas? Let's put our fingers on our head and think about it. Do we have any ideas? Where do you think it might go over here on our picture? It's okay if we don't know. We can
Does it
guess.
go
The rain.
the rain?
Not with the rain.
The ocean.
And it has to do with the ocean. Very good, Abigail. Okay, our evaporation, I'll tell you what it means, okay? Evaporation is when water changes from a liquid into a vapor. Who knows what a vapor is?
I was gonna ask what
Were you
that
gonna
was.
ask?
Yes.
Do you know what it is? Does anybody know?
Can't see it.
You can't. Well, sometimes you can. Does anybody ever make tea at their house
My
on a
mom
tea
does.
kettle?
Yes.
Do you know when it boils, when the water's hot, what does it do? It whistles. And what, do you see anything come out of the tea kettle?
Steam.
Steam. Yes, vapor is a steam. A steam is a vapor. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. So when water changes from a liquid into a vapor, we have evaporation. Okay?
Miss Goodman, Miss Goodman.
Yes,
I
Julie.
see something.
What do you see?
Okay, in the middle of the word it says vapor.
You are so right, Julie. That is a great observation. Great observation. So that as a memory trick to help you remember that evaporation is what? Can you tell me what it is?
When it goes from the ocean to the clouds?
Yes, when water changes from liquid
Vapor.
into a vapor. Very good. Okay, so let's talk about our next word over here, condensation. Has anybody heard that word before? Have we heard that before?
Those what you put on your burgers?
No, that's condiments. Close. They sound the same. They have the same beginning, don't they? Condiments. Condensation. That's a good connection, though. Is that word? No, don't be sorry. It's okay. Has anybody heard that word? It's okay if we haven't. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Okay? And so it's when a vapor turns back into water. Okay? And this is really, really important because it's how our clouds are formed. Okay? So up here we have condensation. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's talk about precipitation. Right here. Who's heard that word before? Has anybody heard that word? You have? Does anybody know what it means?
No. When it rains.
When it rains, yes, that precipitation is our fancy word for rain. So whenever we say precipitation, we're gonna do our hands like this, okay? So precipitation, everybody say precipitation. That's right, that's so fancy. Okay, so our precipitation is when water comes from the clouds. Okay, that water comes from the clouds. It's called precipitation.
Raining.
Now, yes, raining. Okay, so I'm gonna write our precipitation right here. Precipitation. Now, another important word for us to know that's not in our song is the word saturation. Does anybody know that word? That's a big word too. We have lots of shuns, don't we? Saturation, yes, we've been learning about those, haven't we? Saturation is when something becomes so full of water. So where on our picture do you think we see saturation
In
happening?
the ocean.
In the ocean.
Well, the ocean is always full of water. Okay?
Saturated.
Yeah. So this is something when it wasn't always full of water, but now it is.
The
Yes, Julie. Yes, the clouds. Okay, so our water turns into a vapor and forms our clouds here. But remember, condensation is when it turns back into water, when vapor turns back into water. So when you have so much water coming up to form the clouds, eventually they get really full of water.
Saturation.
And that's when, yes, Julie.
You know what that reminds me of?
What does that remind you of?
When my mom does the dishes, she uses a sponge. And when the sponge gets full, she has to squeeze it out.
That is a great connection, Julie. That's a very visual picture. I like that. So when it rains, it's kind of like when your mom squeezes the sponge because you know what happens to the sponge? It becomes saturated. And it's so full of water that it can't hold anymore when she's doing the dishes. So she's got to squeeze it out, and that's when our precipitation happens. Now, does anybody know what the word cycle means?
Bicycle?
Bicycle. What happens on the wheel when you...
It goes around.
Yeah, it goes around. So our cycle, it just keeps going around. Okay, so when the water comes back down, it gets soaked up in the ground, and it falls back in the ocean, and then it just goes right back up, turns into a vapor, forms our clouds get saturated, and then it falls down. How cool, huh?
Yeah.
We know so much about the water cycle.
So water from the ocean is in the clouds now?
Yeah, that's right.
Even here?
Even here. Even when it falls, and remember yesterday we talked about our puddles?
Oh.
When that water falls and it forms puddles, eventually
So it doesn't always come from the
the
ocean.
sun helps in our evaporation. It comes, it collects it up, turns into a vapor on our puddles. It can come from anywhere. It can come from the ground.
So not the ocean.
Not always the ocean, but that's just a nice picture for us. This is a big
Oh.
big body of water is an ocean. Okay, so it's when a liquid turns into a vapor. And we have our vapor. It's a great connection when you made Julie. Okay. So now that we know more about the water cycle, do we want to sing our song again?
Yes.
Okay. Now I have some motions. Let me show you the motions. Maybe you guys can stand up and do them with me.
Yes.
Okay. So when we do, we'll go like this. We'll go, water travels in a cycle, yes it does. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up in evaporation, forms clouds in condensation. It rains down in precipitation, yes it does. Yes it does! Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, okay. We'll go a little slower. Okay, just so we can do the motions at the same time. Okay. All right, ready? Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up in evaporation, it forms clouds in condensation, it rains down in precipitation, yes it does. Yes it does! Great job, guys! Give yourself some pats on the back. I like that. You guys are great singers and movers. I love it. Okay, so I have one more activity for us. Okay, so in our rotations, in our workstations, we've been doing a science center, and we've been making some observations. So right now, we're gonna make our own little environment.
We talked about environment yesterday.
We did. That's right. Okay, so this is our is our pretend environment here, okay? Okay, and so I have some soil.
Oh.
And I have some gravel here, some rocks, okay? And I have some water. All right, so first, now what you guys can't see in my picture here, way deep down below the ground is lots of gravel, lots of little rocks, okay? So we're gonna put those in first. Abigail, will you pour some gravel in?
Yes.
There. Okay. Keep going. I'll tell you when. Oh yeah, keep going. Perfect. That's perfect. Great job. Okay.
Good job.
Now, Julie, can you pour in some soil here for me? Okay, it's a big bag. All right. Very good. That's perfect. Okay. Now, Ellen, I'm gonna have you pour in some water from my water bottle here. Okay. You just pour some in there. Oh, good. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now we have some water in the ground here. We have our soil. I'm gonna put a plant in there. Ooh. We have our soil that we just poured in. And now I'm gonna pour in some water into this bottle cap. Is it stinky? Yeah. I'm gonna pour some water in this bottle cap right here. This can kind of be sort of like a puddle or an ocean, okay? So we're gonna watch that and you wanna look at it?
Yes.
And I'm gonna put a plant in there, and then we'll cover it up. And I'm gonna put it over in our science lab, our science rotation, and you're gonna be able to observe it, okay? And in your science journals, you'll write down your observations of what you see. Maybe you'll notice, I don't know, maybe what do you think is gonna happen to our water? If we put it in a sunny place, what's gonna happen to it? What do you think, Julie?
Evaporation.
I think it might evaporate. I think it might, okay? So that we can watch and observe it. Yes, Ellen?
Can we use this for our play?
Yes, we can. That is a great, I'm glad that you said that. I was about to talk about it. So these observations that we make and the things that we learn by watching this, these are things that you can write about in your play. Remember we talked about writing a play? And about at the end of the week, maybe next week, we're going to start working with our groups and our partners, and we're going to work on our play about the water cycle. Does that sound like fun?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and we are going to line up for lunch, okay?
Okay.
Great.
1 minute.